Well, that's the top of Lining Crag, looking back down Greenup Gill. Afternoon, something a bit different. I've just caught the bus from home to Keswick, and yeah, I'm going to walk back along the Cumbria Way to start with, and make a decision when I get to Stonethwaite as to which way I go. But yeah, we've got the Northwestern Fells behind me there. That's the road part done anyway, leaving Keswick and heading up through Paw Park now. And yeah, before long we'll be beside Derwentwater, and when I get there I'll be looking for somewhere for lunch because time's getting on. Well, here we've got Causey Pike and Barrow, two of the Northwestern Fells, looking up to Cat Bells. Well, just tried to rain a little bit, so stopped and had something to eat while the going was good, so to speak. And yeah, well under Cat Bells now. Yeah, I should probably say there might actually be a change in the sound quality because with the rain round about, I've taken the microphone off, so we're using the GoPro's inbuilt mic, which generally is not that wonderful, but at least there isn't any or at least very little wind. Well, there's lots of Canada geese in this field, but possibly of more interest to me at the minute is it looks very wet up Borrowdale. I'm just entering Grange in Borrowdale now, and yeah, it's not a massive amount of rain, but it's enough to be annoying. Well, it's still raining. Not much, but it is. I thought I might have foxed it by putting the waterproofs on. It often stops it, doesn't it? Right under Castle Crag now, and these old quarries here and the caves are it's where Milliken Dalton made his home, and he called himself the Professor of Adventure. I don't think anyone else did, but that's what he called himself. And he was a bit of a Lake District guide, and he played on the river, and yeah, didn't act his age, and there's nothing wrong with that. Rain's passed off, out of the trees now, and Castle Crag behind me, and yeah, I'll have to make a decision soon as to which way I'm going to go. I'm undecided as to whether I follow the Cumbria Way up Langstrath or join the coast to coast and go over Greenup Edge. Now we can look back now to Castle Crag. You can see skid old little man over there in the distance through the jaws of Borrowdale. That's Osprey passed through. We'll take the bridle at the other side of the river, and when we get up below Eagle Crag it'll be decision time. But I'm thinking at the minute I'll go over Greenup Edge, take the coast to coast route, and that'll bring me over to Grasmere, well, in the morning. Hopefully I can find somewhere to pitch on up above Lining Crag or somewhere up there. Looking up towards the head of Borrowdale, and it's looking like we're going to get some more rain. Well, the rain's coming on again, so I think I'm going to have to put the waterproofs on. I'm sheltering behind this holly bush, but it's looking a bit grim up here, so I'm going to put the camera away. I'll bring you back when it fares up. Always the optimist, if it fares up. Well, I can't believe that. It's cleared out in about 10 minutes. I could have got away without changing into waterproof, but anyway. This is where Langstrath Beck comes down and joins Lining Beck. Got Eagle Crag there in the middle. So there we are, looking back down to Borrowdale, the way we've come, and yeah, I think I said Lining Gill, it's Greenup Gill, I must be an idiot. Well, that's where I've got to go. Well, we're up close to Lining Crag now. The path goes up the left hand side, and yeah, once we get over the top of there, not far to the top of Greenup Edge, and time to then start looking for somewhere to pitch the shelter. Well, that's the top of Lining Crag. Looking back down Greenup Gill. Over here we've got Orrest Crag and Red Pike, High Style, Grasmere Pike, Skiddaw. And over in this direction you've got Great End and Esk Pike, Bowfells in Cloud. This is Glaramara, Allen Crags. Yeah, and in the foreground we've got Sergeant Man and Eagle Crag. Anyway, we're going up here. It's gone cold, so yeah, we'll drop down the other side, I think, to find somewhere to pitch. Right, well, we're on Greenup Edge, and hard work's done, I suppose. So last look back at the Western Fells. That's Pillar. Looks high. I suppose it is high. Up there, that goes up to High Raise, no, top to Langdale Pikes. And I'm going down here. That's Far Easedale. So I'm thinking I'll maybe camp at head of Far Easedale, just on that little bit of a ridge there where it goes out onto Gibson Knot and what have you. So I'm just debating what to do now. It's 27. I'm thinking there's a bit of a spot here, so I think that's where it's going to be. And yeah, I'll just need to find some water. There shouldn't be any shortage of that, I don't think. Right, well, got pitched up, and I'm in the tramplight shelter, which is quite superb, really. Right, well, it's still early, but yeah, I've done about 16 miles, and yeah, I feel quite tired. That was all since 12:30 when I got off the bus. So yeah, what time is it now? It's coming up towards 8 o'clock. So yeah, quite a full day. I'm gonna have another brew, and as soon as it goes dark, my head will be hitting the pillow, I think. So as I said earlier, I'm using the tramplight shelter. It's made out of what used to be called Cuban fibre, and is now called Dyneema composite fibre. It's made by a guy called Colin Ibbotson, who calls himself Tramplight, and has done many long distance trails, and this shelter is born of his experience. Extremely storm worthy, and quite light for its weight. So I'll give you a 360 tour. You can see it'll shed wind very well from anywhere in this direction. There are 3 storm guides, which I've actually never used. I think they were retrofitted. Got to bear in mind, I bought this used. Lightly used, I would say. It had done about 25 nights, something like that, perhaps 30. And always cared for. And as you can see, it just looks great. So yeah, pegging is important. I use Big Eastern nails, the gold ones, and if I had to use a storm guise, I've got 3 shorter eastern nails. It doesn't pitch inner and outer together, at least I've never tried to do that. The floor is Cuban fibre, and it has quite a novel way of shutting the doors. The doors don't come to the ground, which gives good airflow, means you don't get a lot of condensation. Yeah, all in all, an excellent shelter, but there's a waiting list for them, and they're not cheap. It wasn't cheap second hand, so they're certainly not cheap new. It pitches with 1 trekking pole set at 125 centimetres. Colin's a tall guy, I met him, and I'm a good bit shorter, nearly a foot shorter I would think, so there's plenty of room for me. Yeah, tramp-like shelter. I'll just mention the stove system I'm using, which is a storming Norman Cone. Sadly, Norman's no longer with us. He passed away, I think, last year. Yeah, again, a very efficient piece of equipment, incredibly light. I use a 550 ultralight Tux mug, pan, call it what you will, with it, and that works very well running on methylated spirits or ethanol, whatever you want to call it. Sleeping, I've got a Cumulus 350 down quilt and a Neoair Uberlight short mat. And the pack I've been using is an Ultimate Direction Fast Pack 30. Everything goes in easily. I could probably take 3 days food, I would think, if I wanted, but obviously I've only got 1 day's food. I'm only out for 1 night, so yeah, there we are. Tramp-like shelter, storming Norman Cone, Cumulus quilt and Thermarest Uberlight pad. I suppose that's the big 3, as they say, isn't it? Morning. Well, it is 5:15, and yeah, not a cool night, equally not warm, but quilt kept me warm. Don't think there's going to be much of a sunrise. A lot of dew, virtually no wind. Yeah, so breakfast in a minute, and get packed up and head on my way. Sun's getting up now. Just as I'm packing up. Right, well, that's me, all packed up, and yeah, just a bit of flattened grass. So we'll carry on the walk, see how far we get. I've no sort of fixed plan. When I've had enough, I get on the bus and go home. So what time of day that'll be, I don't know. So yeah, off down Far Easedale next, down towards Grasmere. Nice quiet valley, Far Easedale. Right, well, that's a last look back up upper Far Easedale. I was camped up there on the ridge, and it's been a pleasant walk down this morning. It's a series of hanging valleys, as we can see, with drumlins and one thing and another, all glaciated. And up here we have Deerfield Crag, but as one view disappears, another one opens up, and we've got Helm Crag here, Summit Rocks. I think from this angle it's the Old Lady in the Organ, I might be wrong, and it'll be difficult to see on a GoPro anyway. Milk Gill there, just below the path going to Eastdale town. So that's me at the bottom of Far Easedale, and I'm leaving the coast to coast route now. I'm going to go down this footpath and pick up the Easedale town path and carry on into Grasmere. So I'm going to enter Grasmere by the grounds of Allen Bank. Good view of Helm Crag there, and until about 100 yards ago I haven't seen anyone since about 4 o'clock yesterday at Rosthwaite. So yeah, who said the lakes are busy? Well, nice and quiet in Grasmere this morning, except for the people repairing the church tower. So we crossed the A591 and I'm going to take the old Coffin route under Nab Scar around to Rydal Mount and then on into Ambleside. This big block here is one of the stones they used to rest the coffin on. Looks like it's not quite as level as it might have been once upon a time, but yeah, that's what that is, and we'll see another one further on, and yeah, point that out when we get there. Now then, as we walk along the Coffin route under Nab Scar, this wall in front of us, behind there are the water pipes for the Thirlmere to Manchester Aqueduct. Well, this is the other stone that would rest a coffin on, and I think by the time you got here you'd want to rest and all. But I dare say that if you're in the coffin, it wouldn't be a bad spot to stop and have a look at this view. I'll let you see that now. That's Rydal. Got Loftrig behind where I was the other day, and I don't know if you can hear them, but there's lots of candy geese. Wansfell there in the background beyond Rydal. So we left the Coffin route and now we go around the back of Rydal Hall, which is a religious retreat, I think, and then we'll go through Rydal Park. Well, we're in Rydal Park, only I don't know, half a mile into Ambleside. I've just had a look at the weather forecast. It looks like it's going to stay dry for a bit yet, so we'll continue, I think, and I think the current plan, as I've been thinking about it, is to catch the bus from Windermere back home. I think that'll have been a tidy walk, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to get something to eat in Ambleside. You can see Borrowdale and Harrison Stickle, Crinkle Crags. So there we can see right at the Fairfield Horseshoe. I'm walking up Skelgill Lane up towards Skelgill Woods. Yeah, a bit further on towards Skelgill Woods and looking down on Waterhead. Got the Coniston Fells, Wetherland Prominent, Coniston Old Man, Crinkle Crags, Borrowdale, Pike of Blisco, Loftrig here. Yeah, cracking view. There we are. This is the view from Jenkins Crag, Coniston Fells, Langdale Fells, Langdale Pikes, Borrowdale, Crinkle Crags. Yeah. You do get quite a good view down towards Bowness as well. Belle Isle there in Middle Lake. These are Clave Heights, Latter Barrow, and in the distance I think that'll be Gummersow. Now the Lilac's putting on a good show, and over there on the other side you can see Blelham Town and Ray Castle, Latter Barrow behind, and so behind me we've got High Skelgill Farm, and I'm going to be going up there and up onto the Hundreds Road, which is where I was when I went up Wansfell, I think it was maybe last week. That's Wansfell, Hundreds Lane, where we came down last week, and I'd been at Wansfell. Just come up here from Skelgill, High Skelgill Farm over there, and just swing it round, and we're going to go down Robin Lane. Right, well this is where we leave Robin Lane, go down here Towntet Road, and the plan, and I'll just walk this way a little bit, is to go across country over to Orrest Head, and then all I've got to do is drop down to Windermere to catch the bus. Now then, so when I said I was going to go across country, I'm obviously going to use bridleways and footpaths and minor roads, and this one takes us down below Town End. It's quite steep down here. So here we are down on the Metal Road, and I went to the Lake School, which is at the bottom of the valley, and this formed part of the set run up to Troutbeck Church. But of course, what you could do was do what we're going to do now and go down and cut across here, and that would cut a good 2 mile off, I would think. So yeah, always best if you didn't get caught though. Now the other thing that's happened down here is that during Storm Desmond, the 2 footbridges, because the Troutbeck has an island in the middle down here, were damaged, destroyed, washed away in 2015, and they've only recently been replaced by new structures, and I haven't seen them yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing them, and yeah, let's see what they look like. Well, here are the new bridges. They're weathering in nicely. They're a lot higher above the river than the others were, so I can't ever imagine these getting washed away. Lord help us if they do. It's going to be incredibly wet. So I've just come through Far Easedale farm, which we're looking at there, outside of Allen Knott, and next farm is Cross's farm. So this is Cross's farm, but it hasn't farmed for a long time. You can see it's converted and just a dwelling now. There we are, Orrest Head. So, Orrest Head, I've had to come down to the top because it's noisy, but back in the 1930s, Wainwright came from his home in Blackburn at that time, got off the train in Windermere and walked up Orrest Head, looked at the view and thought this was paradise, and said that he wanted to climb them all, which he did, and so have many other people as well, of course, since. We've been interrupted by the RAF. So that's the end of my 2-day walk from Keswick to Windermere. It's been good, a little bit of rain, nothing to speak of. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, catch you next time. I'll leave you with the view from Orrest Head.